you going, guys? Steve here from Staying 4x4 Adventures, and yes, we are about to cut open a safe. That's going to be cool. Alright, let's get back to cutting the safe, and then we can talk about this unit, which this video is sponsored by EcoFlow. So hang around, check out the cutting open of a safe. That's going to be cool. And then we're going to quickly run through this and see what happens. Oh no. Alright, so it turns out just cutting the hinges off doesn't work. So bugger. Maybe I can just like cut straight through here and cut through the lock. Let's give that a go. I can cut the center of the door out. So it turns out the door is actually quite thick. It just keeps going. I don't think I cut all the way through. That's crazy. Maybe I'll just go through the top. Might be easier. Bloody hell. What I want to talk about though is how I managed to power all that. So EcoFlow has sent me a new battery pack, which is pretty cool. So there's obviously a few on the market now. This one's got a couple of defining features which I really love about it. What's up, buddy?
Tea.
You want cheese?
Tea.
Tea. Smile. What's up? Ah, you're gonna sweep. Are you sweeping? What a nutcase. What an absolute nutcase. Yeah, so as I was saying, a couple of defining features. So how about I bring it back inside and we'll go through it. Right here, so EcoFlow Delta Max 2000. So this is the 2000 watt version. So essentially there's 2000 watts in it. Makes sense. I think it's 2016 watts technically if you want to get specific on things. So starting off with, obviously on the front here, little display to show everything. It's got how many hours are left at your current usage of power, percentage, and then the 240 and so the AC and the DC power out wattage. So it tells you how much power you're using on AC versus DC. Down here, obviously all of your USBs and USB-Cs. So there's 4 USBs and then 2 USB-Cs, which you can individually, well, not individually, but you can turn all of the USBs on or off, basically from that button there. Simple. Around the other side, gives you all of your 240 volt stuff. So you've got 4 240 volt outlets. Same thing, you can turn them on and off, basically from that button, plus your cigarette lighter and a couple of 3 amp, I forget what they're called. Cigarette lighter charging, which is about 100 watts, so 10 amps at 12 volt. There's a high and low charging setting, so If you're on 240 volt, you can determine on whether you want it to be a low charge or a high speed charge. The high speed charge gets up to around about, I think it was 2300 watts I've seen, which is huge. That's a massive amount of charge going in at once. So they recommend having a 15 amp circuit to run it on that, because that's a lot of power at 240 volts. Obviously you've got the actual plug that goes in, and then just a little resettable fuse there in case something goes wrong with it. Simple, sweet, nice. It's actually smaller than other ones on the market, which is nice. These ones here are for expandable batteries, so you can just get separate batteries that you can plug in, and you can expand the capacity of the overall units. It's kind of cool. I think I like it. It's good. Some of the cool features that I've found with it are obviously the portability. So I was painting my fence the other day. I couldn't be bothered running out a lead the entire way because it's a long run. I mean, I would have had to attach 3-4 leads together to make it work. Where I just had one lead, took this with me, and I had a spray pack, or a airless spray gun, and it was just spraying everything I wanted it to. It was good. It was made everything. Righto, so just finished. I painted all the way from there. Painted the shed next door, all the way into the house pretty much. I missed the last two sections because too many weeds at the moment, and I need to pull them out. I haven't done it yet. So to do all of that, I've taken it back inside already. Oh, I'm puffed. There you go. Turn around. So to paint all of that fence with that spray gun, it's down to 94%. So I've used 6% of the battery to do all that. So as a power alternative to a spray gun, pretty damn good. Seem to be wearing more of the paint than what's on the fence, but whatever. So inside this 2000 model, there's a 2400 watt continuous pure sine wave inverter. So you can run 2400 watts continuously, no dramas at all. It's also got what they call an X boost, which gives you essentially it pushes the inverter further along. So you can run up to 3000 watts continuous with X boost, but only one device at a time. But it's not as clean a power in the sense that if it's something like a laptop, something that needs relatively clean power, not recommend to do on X boost, because essentially it's just throwing power at it and hoping that it's enough. So it's only really good for power tools, stuff that can accept a bit of dirty power, and you're sweet to go. It does have a 4600 watt surge power on there, so essentially for a couple of seconds, if it's a high use item that starts something up and it just sort of draws a lot of power for the first couple of seconds and then goes back down to say 2200 watts, it'll run it perfectly fine as well. One of the other cool features that none of the other battery units that have on the market that I've seen anyway is an app to go with it all. So it means a couple of things. One, it means you can monitor the battery from your phone away from actually the unit. So you could store this, say, in your caravan underneath the seat, something like that, and have it plugged into your van, so it's running your van full time, and then just charge it separately. You can turn this on and off from your phone and have everything work that way. It also means you can monitor it from your phone, and you can turn individual circuits on and off as well. So say now I've got all of this stuff plugged into the USB ports. I can go here, turn that on, you hear it beep, all of a sudden it starts working, and it gives me all the power usage that I'm using there as well. So currently it's using 13 watts to charge those 3 devices. And it also gives me the time left on the unit. So at this rate, I've got 3 days and 17 hours of usage out of the unit, just charging those 3 things. Obviously, they're only going to take an hour or so to charge, and then it'll turn itself off anyway. One of the other big benefits of having an app that connects to the unit, plus connects to the phone, it means that you can update the firmware when updates come available. This one already had an update, even though I've only had it for about 3 weeks now. It meant that the firmware needed updating. Apparently, according to the update notes, there was a slight discrepancy in the SOC value, so the state of charge value. It wasn't displaying as accurately as what it could, so they've sent out an update. You update it, it connects to your Wi-Fi at home, and you can control everything from here. Updates, problem solved, everything's good. So it's a future-proof unit as well, which is quite nice. Really cool feature that I found with this one as well. So EcoFlow has sent me this for free, of course. That's just the way that YouTube works these days. So the first one they've sent me two, was actually the wrong unit, and I had to send it back so I can get this one because I wanted the bigger one, not the smaller one. So they sent me the EcoFlow Mini. While I had it for those couple of days, I tested it out where all of my cameras and internet stuff is as a battery backup. So this is one of the only units that I've found that actually works as a UPS, so an uninterrupted power supply. What it means is, actually, let's go back to old Steve and he can explain it quickly.
So this is actually under my stairs, so excuse the mess, but this is all of my data stuff for my house. So that's patch panels and switches and all that sort of stuff, cameras for outside, and the NAS, that's where all YouTube stuff gets stored, right there. But mainly because of the cameras, I run what we call a UPS. So essentially, all of that stuff runs through the UPS. So if I lose power, this is a battery that keeps everything going for a period of time. So this is my conspiracy side coming out. Say someone tries to break into the house, they turn the power off, this battery keeps the cameras running, so it records everything. So they're going to get seen no matter what. And no matter what they do, they can't turn my cameras off from outside the house. They've got to do it from here. Probably shouldn't have told you where that was. It's a locked room anyway, so good luck. The other advantage, so EcoFlow actually sent me the wrong unit to start with, so I'm doing this quick video before I have to send it back and get the other one, which you're probably looking at now. They sent me the Mini, so I reckon the Mini would be a perfect situation for this because they're a UPS as well. They call it a battery backup generator section in their website. It doesn't classify it as UPS, but it does exactly that. So that's the cable going into the unit, plugged into the wall, and then on the back there, excuse the light, it's really dark in here. Hopefully this comes up. If I move it out of the way, make it focus. So the white one there goes up to the NDN, and then this other one here, dark one, goes inside and up into the box there, which controls the entire unit. So you can see what's happening because the battery wasn't fully charged. It's currently charging as well as using, so we're charging at 640 watts and using 141 watts. What it means though, if I lose power, which one would it be? This one, turn that sucker off, everything keeps running. So it's like another battery backup for the unit. So EcoFlow say that once it's fully charged, the battery, it doesn't actually use the battery to run the appliance. It just acts as a flow through. So you're not draining the battery to charge everything, it'll stay at 100% and everything just works once it's fully charged. So that's pretty cool. So when you're not using it for camping, you can basically have it in here under your stairs, whatever, and that's your little safety net for if you go away or whatnot. And the smaller ones are actually pretty cheap. For a normal UPS, you're looking at $1,500 or so. So to have something that does both, that you can take camping, it's transportable, I reckon that's a cool nifty feature of the EcoFlow for this one. The bigger ones do it as well. It just so happens they sent me the Mini by mistake, and I thought that was a really cool application for it.
So obviously that's with the Mini back there. So this one will do the exact same thing. So essentially you could have this plugged in. If you wanted to, you could almost have it as on a timer setup. So as the sun goes down, the timer turns off. It transfers power to this, so it runs on this overnight. Because that stuff uses around about 300 watts an hour to sort of keep going, because there's a fair bit of stuff there. Use this power overnight, and then the time it comes back on around about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when the sun's back out, recharges the unit using solar panels I've got on the house, and all of a sudden I'm saving power as well by doing this. So this unit could eventually pay for itself if I was to use it for that. If I was going to use it for that. I don't know if I'm going to. I know a lot of you good people are going to be asking about what can it run though, and obviously I'm not going to run through everything because we've all seen these battery things before and what they can do. And yes, this can do all of that plus some as well, because it has a bigger inverter than most on the market. Most other ones are only around about the 2000 watt. This being a 2400 watt makes a big difference overall. It means you can run a couple of devices at once. Obviously, I'm just giving you a quick example of what we can do. So boiling kettle on induction cooker, using the app on my phone, which is actually quite handy. 1329 watts overall. gives you the outlay of what's working as well. So it's good. It also means that, say you didn't want it, you can literally turn it off from your phone at the same time. Turn that back on, turn that back on, everything's going again. It just, such a seamless. Seriously, I'm in love with the app. All right, so let's talk charging. So obviously there's the 240 volt charger, which I'll just show really quickly. In the high setting is about 2300 watts, which is heaps. But no one's really going to be charging this when they're at home. Well, they will, but that's not what people care about. Solar. Can you charge it from solar? Yes, you can. Unlike a couple of other ones, you only need a 12 volt blanket. This is the cheapest, nastiest 300 watt panel that I could find online, and it actually works, strange enough. Ooh, I just noticed that's overhanging. That wouldn't be helping. Get rid of that. Cool. All right, so you can see it's sort of a relatively overcast day. Not really ideal conditions. Sun's just starting to stick its head out, and we are getting 120 watts. Hopefully that comes up. I don't know if it will or not. 112, 110. Yeah. So it's going in. You don't need a high output panel, or you don't need to link a couple of 12 volt panels together to get a certain voltage. This will work from anything from, what was it? I think it was from 9 volts up to 56 volts. So it will do pretty much the entire range. You don't need a solar controller in the way. It's got a built-in MPPT charger, yeah, that's one, charger inside the unit already. So simple. You can buy the cheapest, nastiest panel you can think of, and it'll take power. That's a bonus. It will take up to 800 watts of solar, which means you can get a couple of panels together and it'll keep going. So this is, what is it, 100 watts now. It doesn't give me a time. Oh, yes it does. So at this rate, it'll take 14 hours and 28 minutes to fully charge the battery from there. Nobody, Daddy's using his phone. Bad parenting right there. All the answer is my phone. What are you eating, buddy?
Dad.
You having messy monkeys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dad sheds messy monkeys as well, isn't it? It's horrible. Need to clean that up. But yeah, easy to charge from solar. It's nice. Just to prove that it can run at 2400 watts continuous, I've cranked some more stuff out. So still got the induction going. Now I've got the air fryer going as well. Let's have a look at this sucker. So that is currently sitting on 2364 watts. And it's been doing that for a little bit now. Obviously you can see it's only going to last 39 minutes doing that, because it's a lot of power. But as proof, it can be done. It works. Even on this side, turn the back on, 2370 watts. So there's proof that the inverter actually holds up to what it's meant to. Yes, it's 20-30 watts below it. It's as accurate as I can get it right now, so suck it up. I'm impressed with it. I like it. No other ones on the market that I've seen can do that. So this just wouldn't be a Australian 4x4 video if there wasn't some sort of negative about something. This is I'm sorry. Okay, so there are a couple of little negatives about the unit that I found. There doesn't seem to be any wireless charging on top, which is always a nice feature, I thought, with some other ones where you basically put your phone on top there and it just starts charging. You wouldn't have to plug it in, you didn't take charges. Everything just worked, which was nice. So I think that's maybe a feature that they can improve down the track. Hi, Toby. It's his head. I think that's something that's probably missing from the unit overall. And like with all of these things, if you're looking for high use items, as in high consumption items like induction and all the rest of it, the capacity in these things is still a little small overall. I think sort of that 2,500 to 3,000 is sort of where you need to be at if you're running air fryers, induction, just everything full electric. That's sort of to get by sort of for 2-3 days without having to charge anything. That's sort of the capacity. With this, you're sort of looking at 1.5 to 2 days if you sort of chewing the hell out of the battery by cooking every meal on induction, air fryer, bottle warmers, everything, which I know not every camper is like that. Fully understand it, but I am, so that's sort of a factor for me. Having said that, I've got some other ones that I can sort of supplement with this. I took this away camping in a caravan the other week just to sort of supplement the van battery actually. So I've got 400 amps in there, but we're away for nearly a week, so I needed a chunk of power to use. Technically I didn't actually need this, but I still used it just because it was a peace of mind thing. I didn't want to let the van batteries get down below say 50%. No other reason other than the fact that I just didn't want to. So this is a great little addition for that. You can plug this directly into the van as well, which will give you power to the entire van. It's a cool little feature. You can do that with all the battery packs, but this has sort of got a big enough inverter that'll run it. Oh, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Love you. You goose. Yeah, the expandable batteries is obviously a cool feature of it. Downside, another negative would be the price. This thing's price, I think it's around about $3 and a bit grand. So it's not cheap. But having said that, I think this has got the best stats out of all the other units on the market as well. Don't quote me, I haven't seen all the other units, just the ones I've seen. I think this has got better stats. You got key, yeah, the keys are gone. Yeah. The app is a massive win for me. I love the app, I love being able to turn it off, and the fact that you can use it as UPS. So for me, for that security system and everything else I've got inside, the fact that I can have a bigger battery backup, this thing is going straight down there for now, and that's exactly what it's going to be doing for day to day. If you are interested in actually buying one, I'll drop a little link down below. They've got awesome Black Friday sales coming up as well. There's an affiliate link, so if you guys buy one, it helps the channel out, so I get a little bit of a kickback from it as well. So probably go buy one, that'd be awesome. Thanks, great. They're pretty cool, I like them. I reckon they're worth the money. I'm going to use this one heaps. Just a little sneak peek. There's a off-road camper getting built at the moment as more content comes, and that little sucker's probably going to be going in as the main power source for a while, because I can't afford other batteries right now, so that thing's going to be awesome for that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week. There's nothing in it.